I was 6 years old the last time I saw my father. He kissed me on the forehead, told me to be good, and walked out the door. I remember running after him barefoot, crying, grabbing his leg, begging him not to leave. My mother had to pry me off him, sobbing herself, and I can still hear the way he said, "You'll understand one day." I never did. He never came back. No birthday calls, no Christmas gifts, no visits, just silence. My mother, a woman who loved fiercely and without restraint, raised me and my older brother alone. She worked double shifts, sacrificed her own happiness, and never once let us feel like we were missing anything, except, of course we were. Fast forward 25 years, I built my own life, got married, had kids, made something of myself. My mother, our rock, grew older, but still remained strong. My brother and I took care of her, ensuring she never wanted for anything. Life was good. And then one evening I got a call, a number I didn't recognize, a voice I hadn't heard in over 2 decades. "Hey, kid, it's me, your father." I nearly dropped the phone. For a moment, I thought it was a sick joke, a scam. But no, his voice, though older, had the same deep timbre I remembered from childhood. I felt rage boiling up instantly. But before I could hang up, he blurted out, "I have cancer. Stage 4. I don't have long. I just want to see you. Please." I wanted to tell him to go to hell. I wanted to scream at him, ask him why he left, why he abandoned us, why he never looked back. But instead, I just stood there, gripping the phone, heart pounding in my ears. I told my brother. He was furious. "He's dead to us. Let him rot," I told my mother. She just sighed, eyes tired. "You do what you need to do." I didn't sleep that night. I kept picturing him, weak, dying, alone. A part of me wanted to deny him any peace. Another part of me needed answer. So I went. He lived in a run-down house, a shadow of the man I remembered. Skin sagging, eyes hollow, oxygen tank by his side. He looked up at me, and for the first time in my life, I saw something in his eyes I never expected. "Shame. I deserve whatever you me," he whispered. "But first, let me tell you why I left. I didn't care. I didn't want his excuses. But then he said something that stopped me cold. I never wanted to leave you. I was forced to." I laughed, bitter, forced. By who? He hesitated, then whispered a name, my mother's. I felt like the ground beneath me cracked open. "You lying," I snapped. "She struggled for years. She broke herself for us. She never gave up. And you're telling me she made you leave?" He nodded. "She found out something about me, something that would have destroyed all of us. She told me to leave and never come back, or she'd make sure I ended up in prison." My heart nearly stopped. "What the hell did you do?" He looked at me, guilt-ridden. I wasn't always a good man. I made mistakes, got involved with bad people. I owed money to people you don't cross. If I stayed, you all would have been in danger. Your mother made sure you never knew. She made me leave for your safety. I didn't know what to believe. Had my mother been protecting us all along? Had she carried that secret, the weight of our hatred toward my father, all these years? I stormed out, my mind spinning. When I confronted her, she just looked at me, exhausted. "You got your answer. Now let him go." I felt anger, betrayal, but also something else. Gratitude. My father was dying. My mother had saved us, and I had spent my entire life hating the wrong person. I didn't forgive him, but I held his hand as he took his last breath. Sometimes the past is uglier than we ever imagined, but the truth can change everything.